Hey everybody, welcome back to Fortress Sealtwigs. It is now the first of Moonstone, early winter, in the year of our Lord 103. Um, so yeah, what went down throughout autumn? Not a whole lot, I guess. Really, I feel like I took a whole lot of notes. Let's see what we did here. Yeah, we began work on the Death Canal switchback. So let me go show that to you. Down in the depths. Yeah, right here. Like I said, I widened the stairwell so we can actually get, to and fro. And then I started digging out. I made it, I was originally going to make it 7 across. I was like, okay, 2 catapults and a bolt thrower. But that looked way too small. So I bumped it up to 11, which should be 3 large siege engines, 2 bolt throwers. Which I guess is even better. But I made it all the way back to over here. We just kind of finished mining it out. There are a few gems to dig out here, but we did that. So that is the initial construction done. So now I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start actually digging the canals. Kind of make these steps down. I don't know how deep to make it. Like I kind of want to make it only 1 deep, but I kind of want to make it 2 deep. I really don't know. I'll have to. I guess I'll feel it out. So I was gonna do that. So I think pretty much just the entire length of this. I mean, because we have some room until the end of the map here. But this is also pretty darn long already. So, I might try to make a bit better of a landing over here. And then I have to plan out where all of my bridges are going to be. And I don't know exactly how expensive bridges are. Gonna need a lot of what do you call it? Mechanisms. To link all these bridges together. So yeah, that was that. What else is on the list here? We began work. Oh yeah, So I started digging this out, and it was just taking forever. I was just like, why? Why is this taking forever? Turns out we only had like 3 miners. So I upped that to like, well, I checked how many pickaxes we had. Turns out we had, I think, 7. So I bumped up the number of miners to 6, or was it we had 8? I left 1 open pickaxe just for whatever reason. So I think it was 8 and 7. So now let's see what we have. Labor says we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so it was 9 and we had 8. I think we even picked up a new pickaxe. Where are those under? Because I think on the trading menu they're listed at. You know what? I think they're listed as weapons on this. Whips, battle axes, stuffs and things, maces, crossbows, picks. Here we go. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. We got a lot now. 6, 8, 10, 11. Yeah, so I can actually bump that up again. But even though I bumped it up to what did I say, eight miners. Like I was just picking peasants and like a bookbinder and a wax worker. So they were mining really slow still. That's why it took nearly like the entire season to actually dig this out. But you know what? They'll get better. Um, that's the good thing is they'll get better. They already did get better. So that was that. Yeah. I think it was early winter, not winter, excuse me, early autumn, and I got an alert, and my heart skipped a beat. I was like, "Oh God, not another siege! Please, we're not ready. Please." Turns out it was just like the yearly caravan. I was like, "Oh, thank goodness." So I let them come on in. Um, I I never crafted the wooden crowns they wanted, which oops, but that's okay. Um, so for this time, I asked them to bring charcoal and coke and galena blocks. Because if I understand it correctly, galena blocks are lava resistant, so you can block off lava with it. You can make the like the lava smelter and the lava forges with them. Um, and I was like, okay, well, it'd be nice to have some of that on hand. Um, so that's what we requested. Requested. Um, and and what they've requested of us next year is windows. I was like, windows? Underground? What you looking at? But whatever. Um, so I, with the caravan, um, I bought all the, because Maury had requested um, metal bars. And so they brought iron, pig iron, and steel. They only brought like four of each, and they were pretty expensive. But I got all of them. But what was really funny was so I went through all the stuff and I bought all the usual stuff. I bought all the wood they had. Um, I bought. Maury had also requested some weapons, so I picked up some weapons. Um, and like all the food and the drinks and the seeds and a bunch of other stuff. But I was, filling out like, okay, well, we have to, get it to the point where they'll actually trade with us. And so I was trading with them, and I wound up getting pretty close to it, and then I had gotten to the next like couple categories of stuff to trade. Um, and so I wound up trading every every piece of worn out clothing we had. Because actually, there was a funny instance of this. So dwarves, when they wear out clothes, which, if I understand correctly, takes about a year and a half to 2 years to wear out a piece of clothing. Also, really depends on usage and material. But once they once they don't want a piece of clothing, they literally just drop it wherever they are. As you can see in this, whose office is this? This is, I think, is this the manager, Olin? I think that's the manager. Yeah. Okay, he's the manager. The manager just like drop trousers right there, and as you can see from the little X up there, that tells you that it's worn out. Like the it's going south. It's not in good condition anymore. And so they'll just drop their clothes all over the place. Um, and so those eventually get gathered up and put in like the finished in like bins as finished goods and clothing. And so I just had just tons and tons of this worn out cloth nobody was going to use. And so I just traded it all away. And in my mind I'm like, okay, that's me being like, okay, we're going to buy this stuff. We're going to give you all these gems on the condition you take all of our laundry. So I did that. It took a long time because we had, it's year 103. We had like 2.5 years of old laundry on us. Um, so I traded that off, and then it was actually like, of course, each piece wasn't worth a whole lot, but altogether it was worth quite a bit. So I wound up buying like every steel item that they had brought with them, which was like I think it was a few weapons. I think there was an axe, a warhammer. Um, I think there was a breastplate and a shield, maybe. But yeah, I wound up trading a lot more just because of how much the all of our laundry was worth. So that was kind of cool and kind of funny. Um, and oh yeah, kind of bittersweet was up here. I finally furnished all these new bedrooms. Um, and it was very sad the second they were all done. We got more migrants, and I was like, that feels bad, man. Feels bad because it's like, okay, they wouldn't send us migrants until we all died, and now they'll send us migrants. And I was making all these rooms for everybody living here, but no, we got more. So now we're back up to 141. Um, and another funny thing was I'm uh, what's it called? I told you the mayor. He got elected, and the first thing he did was he banned the export of toy axes. And so, in I think it was late autumn, he lifted the ban on the export of toy axes and mandated the crafting of more toy axes. So I don't know what he's got a thing for toy axes, man. He's like, all children must know the joy of an axe in their hand. Um, but that's really all that went on. Um, that's all the highlights. Because other than that, it was just me um, trying to keep supplies going, trying to finish those rooms, trying to start, planning out the death the death canal switchback. And that's about it, really. I did put. I wound up finally replacing the doors up here. So we got a door there, we got a door there, and we got a door up here. And I wound up putting down the bolt throwers here. I was trying to figure out a good way to kind of fit bolt throwers in here, but it's just a little too weird and cumbersome because the ramp goes horizontally, but the entrance is vertical, and there's no real room to wiggle around in here. Of course, and what I might wind up doing is just tearing the thing apart and kind of remaking it. I can take the turtle moat here and just kind of wrap it around, and then kind of tear this down and make the entrance facing horizontally, and a bit bigger, and then putting stuff there. I was also playing around with the idea of just taking it vertically, like kicking out the entrance one more lengthwise here on the bottom, and then putting staircase to upstairs, maybe like a second level upstairs, because this would be level with this. But up here, I would be a little higher, and we kind of have a range and visibility advantage if I were to put the bolt throwers up here. So that's probably a half decent idea, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But other than that, just birds hanging out in blood, as they are wont to do. The migrants did bring more grazing creatures, so I noticed there was like a cow and a yak running around in the temples, and I was like, probably means they're not pastured. And sure enough, yeah. I think this water buffalo was one of them. Oh, who is this? See, it worries me that these dwarven children are running around this far out just playing make-believe where they can get slaughtered. Also, I made this a enormous corpse stockpile. Because I realize I'm hoarding the corpses over here by the birds, which I think is funny, but I was like, okay, well, why don't I... My original idea was to make the entire other side of the river my corpse stockpile. To be like, anybody that's coming up to the river, look at these corpses, come no further, sort of thing. And I still might do that, but for now it's just this. So I was thinking, okay, all the new corpses, don't just stick them with the birds, as funny and awesome as that is. But yeah, I also think I might need to reflood the aquifer. No, these are still just 6s and 7s. Like, sure, there's a lot more 6s than there used to be, but at the same time, that's going to take a long time to dry up. So yeah, that's the that is the, I guess, the winter update of what happened in the autumn. So yeah. Also, something that was really funny was I got a combat alert that Tobal, I think her name was in combat. Is she up here? Tobal, I think this is her. Yeah, I got a message that she was in combat. Something had hit her leg, and she was stunned, but then she got up and she was fine. And I was like, okay, what happened? Because I couldn't figure it out. I was like, but I think she like just fell down the ramp. Because I looked at her personality, and was it no, somewhere here it says that she is very clumsy. And I was like, oh, okay, she must have just fallen. Here you go. She's very flimsy and quite clumsy. So I was like, okay, maybe she just fell over. Like, fell down the ramp, got back up. That was kind of funny. But yeah, what is this? Yeah, combat history. Here you go. See, her lower left leg takes the force of the impact, but is deflected by their trousers. They stand up. The wrestler jumps out of the captain of the guard's flight path. The wrestler is no longer stunned. The captain of the guard? Isn't that me? Captain of the guard. Who's the captain of the guard? Captain of the guard is this guy. Huh. Izam Izam. This guy, yeah. Were they sparring and she fell? Because, like, they spar a lot, but you never get that combat log, like when they're just sparring. Huh. Must have been. He is upset that there are not enough cages and chains. How many do you want, sir? I forgot how to find out where that is. Is it thoughts? No. Is it the zone if I look at the prison? No. I can't remember where to see that. Is it the justice? No, no idea. Don't remember. And here you see make toy axes. Well, okay, but yeah, thanks for following up, catching up with the Sealtwigs here. Look at those kids just in the siege ammo stockpile, just absolutely loving it. And I keep finding stockpiles that are allowing siege ammo that just shouldn't. And I keep having to turn them off, and I still feel like there's not enough siege ammo over here. It's very weird. But, yeah, okay. Well, yeah, so everybody be safe, think critically, and we'll catch ya. Is this the end of the year? Is this the last season? Right, because we started spring, summer, autumn. Yeah, winter's last season. Okay. Plans. What do I already said my outro, but now I'm like, oh shit, what do I do? I guess we'll find out, because I already did my outro, so I'll do it again. Be safe, think critically, and see you at the end of the year. All right. Stop recording. All right.
Soup is warmed up.